81369. Visit us on our web at McPhersonAuction.com.
Hey, Rapid City, it's Nate Brown reminding you to join South Dakota Sports Talk Show right here Monday through Thursday on your drive home from 4 to 6 on Fox Sports Rapid City. This is your show covering everything from high school to college to the pros. When you want thought-provoking South Dakota sports content, we'll deliver the best interviews from across the state and around the region. Join the Nate Brown Show, Rapid City's only live afternoon drive sports talk show from 4 to 6 right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
So why do teenagers play high school sports?
My reason why is a sense of purpose.
My reason why is love for the game.
My reason why is to inspire others.
One reason student athletes seldom mention is to get an athletic scholarship. They know that only 2% of all high school athletes are awarded a sports scholarship, and most of those are worth far less than the cost of tuition. So, why do they play?
My reason why is commitment.
My reason why is friendship.
A sense of purpose, love for the game, to help others, friendship. There are lots of great reasons to play high school sports and to participate in other high school activities like cheerleading, debate, and music. Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
And here's what you need to know.
The Baltimore Ravens have fired head coach John Harbaugh after 18 seasons, including a victory in Super Bowl 47. Harbaugh said in an extremely colorful statement given the circumstances, quote, "Well, I was hoping for a different kind of message on my last day here someday, but that day has come today. Smiley face emoji. It comes with disappointment, certainly, but more with gratitude and appreciation," unquote. Harbaugh is believed to be the first coach to ever use a smiley face emoji when discussing his own firing. Elsewhere, multiple outlets report the Tennessee Titans will interview former Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett for their head coaching job on Friday. The Detroit Lions this afternoon fired offensive coordinator John Morton. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. We're ready to go on a Tuesday. Glad you're here. The Nate Brown Show live, South Dakota Sports Talk Show, ready to go on Fox Sports Radio. Welcome in. It is always a great day in South Dakota. We are packed and ready. Great guest lineup tonight. What a game last night. We got a lot to discuss. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, Fox Sports Radio, KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. We are packed tonight. Great guests across the board. Remember, you can stream us live on X right now. Stream us live there on X, at Nate Brown Show. Watch us live at Nate Brown Show on X. Follow us and interact with the show also on YouTube right now, The Nate Brown Show. We are streaming live. Subscribe to the channel. You've got us good to go. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. One more place. You can watch us live on the new high school sports streaming app, Midwest Sports Plus. Have you checked it out yet? High school basketball all season long, Midwest Sports Plus. We are live. Get the app and get this show every afternoon. Packed tonight. Here we go. Brian Noe is on. It's a Tuesday with the Noe Show. Fox Sports Radio national host Brian Noe is in from Las Vegas. We will get an update from Bozeman, Montana, home of the FCS National Champions. That matchup last night. We're going to start with that, but hang on. Victor Flores just got back in Bozeman. Montana State beat writer, 406 MT Sports. He was live in Nashville last night. He's back in Montana tonight. We've got him, Victor Flores, on the Bobcats, finally getting that title. They've been there 3 out of 5 years, and they get over the top. Montana State gets their first title in 41 years. We'll talk to Victor Flores, covers this program. Zach Barnett's in tonight from Dallas, national college football writer for FootballScoop.com. Zach Barnett also has some thoughts on the FCS title game last night and the college football playoff coming up Thursday and Friday. Zach Barnett on tap, and Zach Borg. It's a double Zach hitter on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Zach Borg's from Sioux Falls, Midwest Sports Plus, play-by-play man. We'll talk high school and FCS with Zach Borg tonight. Tuesday's show looks good, so hang on. A lot to get to. Let's get you on if you want in. 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067. Hit us on the Pizza Ranch studio hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch. Here's where they're at. East 10th Street in Sioux Falls. Great location in Brandon. You want to book that for kids' birthday parties. They got the best Fun Zone arcade in the state. East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Also in Brandon, the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. 605-720-1067 is our number of the Barron's Wilson text line as well. You can text the show, 605-720-1067. Now we're set. You've got us good to go. Let's start with three big things today. Let's start with this, because I've been thinking about this last night as I watched the FCS championship. I want to start with three big things that I'm taking away from the game last night. Let me start with the one big positive. So last night, I thought the atmosphere, the crowd, the venue, I thought it was all top shelf. I mean, absolutely top shelf. So you looked at the crowd. This is a big stadium. I know they said 24,000 fans. That's what they said, the official attendance. But let me tell you right now, it was close to packed anyway. That stadium holds like 35,000. That crowd was electric. I mean, it was off the charts last night. So let me just give some flowers to Montana State and even Illinois State. I mean, Illinois State averages 10,000 fans a game at home. They were loud. There wasn't as big a crowd at Illinois State as Montana State last night. The Bobcat fans were off the charts. I mean, they flew down from Montana and packed that place. Nashville was rocking with Bobcats, no doubt. But the crowd, let's just say across the board, crowd, atmosphere, venue, top-notch, all the way across. The game then was an all-time great game. I'm not going to say it was the best game of all time. Let's not be crazy. There's a lot of good FCS title games. A couple of years ago, it was a one-point game with Montana State NDSU. So same thing, one-point game, went to overtime, blocked extra point. If you watched it, you should know an all-time great game, and it was getting national attention, which the FCS title game sometimes does not get. I hate to break it to you, but even with the NDSUs of the world in the thing and some of the big brands over the years, the FCS title game has been lost before. We've been on certain days with NFL games on. I mean, it's been a mess. So this Monday night thing has been really good, and I hope the FCS can try and negotiate this. Really, ESPN gets to pick, hey, here's some money, and it's minuscule stuff, and then they get to tell the FCS where they're going to put the game. That's how it's always been. You got to try and have this thing. I think Monday night's great. What did you guys think? Monday night, nothing going on outside of some college hoops, some NBA. There's no NFL. Everybody's kind of like, hey, we're getting ready for the playoffs and the whole thing. So I'm gonna put this thing on a Monday night in Nashville. I know people feel sorry or something, feel bad about what? That it's not in Frisco? I know you guys have a history and you go to Frisco and it's all great. That venue last night, I got to tell you, the city, Nashville is top shelf as well. So keep the game in Nashville, keep it at Vanderbilt Stadium, keep the thing on Monday night, put it on ESPN, and then you get an all-time classic like that. So it got more national attention than I remember for an FCS title game in quite a while. There's some attention that's been brought to this now. This is something I'm going to take this to next. So I thought the game was outstanding. The whole thing for FCS was outstanding. But here's where people have taken it too far now. I see FCS fans across the board say, Well, this is going to open people's eyes to the FCS. I mean, it's even on Barstool, and it's getting the FCS level is getting some new attention, and this is going to bring people to here's how our playoff goes. This is the right playoff. This is the best playoff. It's going to be best for the FCS now that we've had a game like this on a standalone night, and this will open people's eyes to how good the FCS playoff is. I like the FCS. I grew up with FCS. I'm with all of you guys here in South Dakota. But it won't be a thing that moves the needle at all. In the big landscape, in the big picture of college football, last night's thing's going to be a distant memory. It just is. That's just the way the FCS has been. It's going to be a distant memory after this week because everybody's going to start talking about Indiana and Oregon. Right? They're going to be talking about that Thursday, Friday. And then this FCS title game, which is outstanding. Montana State's run and Illinois State's improbable runs, outstanding. I think it moved the needle for a 24-hour news cycle in sports, and that's better than you could say a lot of the FCS games have done. When you're going up against an NFL playoff game, some of these games that we've had, I mean, it's an afterthought. At least the FCS got a scene last night. It was kind of a cinematic scene, the way it played out. So it was all good. It was great, but let's not overdo it. I think FCS fans up in this part of the country can say a little too much sometimes. Like, see, you don't know what you're missing. This is the best thing. This is pure college football. That's all great. It is not going to move the needle. Somebody even pointed this out. What did they say? This is a groundbreaking moment for the FCS. That was able to get on a Monday night, a great game, people talking about it, social media, people that you'd never expect to be interested in this. This is a groundbreaking moment for the FCS. This is a distant memory very soon. Not for Montana State, not for FCS fans. FCS fans loved that last night. It brought some of the folks that have never really paid attention to FCS, it brought them in for a night of enjoyment. Said this is one of the all-time great games. And nobody will be talking about it by the end of this week. That's my point. So, people say, oh, the FCS playoff system's the best too. Let me go there, by the way. Here's one thing. 3 big things from the FCS title game. So I just pumped it up. The atmosphere, the venue, the crowds. It was rocking last night. That was a good show. That was a good showing. People are saying, I wonder if the FCS playoff system should be implemented for the FBS, meaning the 24-team scenario. Maybe people will jump on board and say, we need 24 teams in the FBS college football playoff. That would make things more exciting like the FCS level. Let me ask you this question in South Dakota, and I don't want to see if we're biased here or not tonight. Do you think the FCS playoff system is better than the college football playoff system today? This is a loaded question of the day. By the way, brought to you by our friends at the Pizza Ranch. We're giving away, you know this, we just started in 2026, a buffet a day on the Nate Brown Show. A little Pizza Ranch love from our location in Brandon and East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Buffet a day. So you answer the question of the day tonight. We'll pull out a winner and let you know at the end of the show. We'll text you, and then we'll tell you how you can get your free buffet. Congrats to our guy winning last night in one of the first runs here. So, a buffet a day, question of the day, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch here on the Nate Brown Show. Do you think the FCS playoff system, that's 24 teams, and how it whittles down, how it gets to last night, is better? Is the FCS playoff system better than the FBS college football playoff right now? That's my question of the day. The text line. Whoa, hang on. We're losing track. We're okay. Let's tighten this microphone up. We're on target today, I think, if we can get this thing back on track. We're on target. Okay. You tell me, 605-720-1067, 605-720-1067. Question of the day, 24-team FCS playoff system. Would that work? Is that better than the 12-team college football playoff system? I think FCS fans are saying, See, this is how it would be better if you let more teams in, so you'd see more of the underdog types in the FBS level. By the way, some people are saying that, not me. I'm just spilling the beans a little bit. This is not me, but I'm asking you the question of the day tonight. Free buffet at Pizza Ranch. We'll set you up. You send your answers in. We'll pull somebody out on the text line tonight, 605-720-1067. Let's run through some answers. James, great journalist of the year, James, can we call him that? James replies, if the FCS had a 12-team playoff, we wouldn't have even seen Illinois State make the historic run to the title game. They wouldn't have been in the field. That's interesting you say that, James. Thus, it makes my argument. The FCS playoff system is way different than the FBS playoff system. You have to look and say, Illinois State made this run, yes. But you also have to remember, how did some of these other teams do? How did the Mercers do? How did New Hampshire do? How did Tennessee Tech do? So I'm saying just to let more teams in usually doesn't go this way. I don't need, to me, the FBS system, I don't need to see any more Tulanes or James Madisons even in the 12-teamer. I don't need to see the Tulanes and the James Madisons. So I can't say you should let in 24 teams in the FBS and you're going to have some buys and then you're going to have even more lopsided games. That's usually how it goes now in college football. You let more teams in, then you're going to get more lopsided games, I think. The Illinois State run is great. That's a great point, James. There's no doubt. But it's the strength of the Missouri Valley Conference is why Illinois State got in. That's why Illinois State got in. It wasn't just a random choice. It wasn't that. It was the Missouri Valley so good, so strong. Look what Illinois State, even though they didn't win the conference, we got to get these guys in. And it was a surprising run, but people couldn't be shocked like, hey, if Illinois State beats North Dakota State, they must be pretty good. And that proved out last night. So just getting more teams in does not make the college football playoff better, right? It's totally different worlds of college football. The FCS system's fine, I guess, at 24. I even think that's probably too many teams if you really look top to bottom. The bottom part of the playoff system in the FCS is pretty weak. It's pretty weak. So I do not think the 24-team playoff is better than the 12-team. I think it's way different style, way different levels of football, way different scenarios. I don't want to let 24 teams into the FBS system, do you? So let's see, though. 79% of the audience on Twitter is voting, yes, the 2014 playoffs better, more teams, more games. Would you guys like to see 24 teams in the college football playoff? You'd like to see the top 24 teams in the college football playoff? Let's see. Listener text. Everything about going to Nashville is better. Bigger stadium in the heart of the city. Field conditions better. Okay, that was a good one from Dave. Up in North Dakota. Listener text, yes, I like it. More teams. Put 24 teams in. You like it. More team. Listener text, no. The FCS playoff system's not better, so keep it 12. Listener text, one more. FCS playoffs have it right, 24 teams, but they have top 8 conference champions making the playoffs. I want best 24 teams. I want best 24 teams. Okay, let's see. You tell me. Think the 24-team playoff is a better system than the 12-team playoff? It's my question of the day. 605-720-1067. Final thing on my 3 big things with the FCS title game last night. Crowd unbelievable, venue unbelievable, game great. The FBS playoff system should not go to 24. Okay, so let's put that one aside. And then the people saying, well, this is why you should not go to the FBS. If you're North Dakota State, South Dakota State, whoever, this is the game. This type of atmosphere is why you should not go to the FBS. I saw that posted. It's just awesome football. Just keep in mind, it's not about the football, why universities go to the FBS or not. That becomes a business decision. So you don't have to try and compare when you have a great FCS title game like last night. You don't have to try and figure out, well, this is why South Dakota State should always stay FCS. It's games like this is why the Jacks should never go to the FBS. That's fool's gold. It's like, by the way, not all the games are like that. These are the final 2 teams left. Not all FCS venues are like this last night. This was a great show, but people are acting like this is the way every FCS game is, every FCS crowd. As I told you, Illinois State, they get 10,000 fans at their games normally. So just keep in mind, this deal last night, how good the FCS title game was, that has no impact over what universities should do when it comes to, should we go FBS or should we stay FCS? Boy, this is a great venue. It's a great playoff. It's a real system of college football. We should stay FCS. It's a university business decision that they decide based on the economics of the university and what's happening. Do they want to elevate their brand, their institution? Do they want more tuition dollars? Do they want more fundraising, more sponsorships? That's why teams and universities go to the FBS. So that's my final point I want to make. I saw people saying, this is why you stay in the FCS until the group of 6 gets something figured out. It's because this is such good football and this is so good. It's great. It's fine for SDSU right now. It has nothing to do with, we're going to stay FCS because it's so good a football situation. When the Board of Regents look at stuff and the presidents and the Board of Trustees at all these universities, they look at the other stuff, not breaking down the football. It doesn't matter. Coming right back, Zach Barnett getting us started, college football writer for footballscoop.com. Coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
All kinds of vehicles, all kinds of loans, all as low as 4.99% APR. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we're here to help all kinds of people, just like you. Get moving. From truck drivers to van warriors, we got the right loan to fit your style with rates as low as 4.99% APR. Wherever the road takes you, start with BHFCU. Apply today at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818.
Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member owned and insured by NCUA.
Get organized and save big money with Dakota Closets at Menards. Dakota Closets can be installed in any room, from home offices and laundry rooms to walk-in or reach-in closets. Use the You Create Closet Planner, available in-store or online, to design a Dakota Closet system that maximizes your space and matches your style. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
It's time to vote yes on January 20th. Time to get in the game. We have a chance to let growth pay for growth. Housing, jobs, and shopping we want that pays its own way. Zero tax increase, zero risk. We're a year-round entertainment, shopping, and dining destination that supports a sports complex. See for yourself at TeamRapidCity.com. Vote yes on January 20th. Paid for by Citizens for Responsible Growth.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows around 36. Tonight, under partly cloudy skies, winds out of the southwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. 57 tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. Overcast skies, tomorrow night, lows level off around 28. Slight chance of snow Thursday, with highs in the upper 30s, lots of sunshine Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 51 degrees.
Hey, volleyball families, get ready to serve up some fun at the Wautiki Spike-tacular Volleyball Tournament, February 13th through 15th at the Box Elder Event Center. Experience high-energy matches, glow-in-the-dark games Friday night, and exciting play all weekend long. Compete in 14U, 16U, or 18U divisions for a shot at the trophy. Stay and play with 25% off rooms at Courtyard by Marriott and water park passes included. Register now at thebox.live.
Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at RapidChevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in South Dakota Sports Talk Show live across South Dakota on Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're here. Appreciate our affiliates and you for making the show possible. Thanks for checking in tonight. The Nate Brown Show live, KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, also Fox Sports Rapid City. Packed lineup tonight. Talk to Victor Flores coming up from Bozeman, Montana. Montana State Bobcats beat writer. He was at the championship last night back in Bozeman just now. So we got Victor coming up. Reaction from Bozeman on the Bobcats FCS title. Brian Nozon from Las Vegas, national host on Fox Sports Radio's Countdown to Kickoff. We'll talk NFL. Brian No, John Harbaugh let go today by the Ravens. How about that? Brian No coming up, Fox Sports Radio. Zach Barnett's on tonight, national college football writer. It's footballscoop.com. One of the great teams covering college football, footballscoop.com. He's on X at Zach_Barnett. Zach, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you, man. Let me ask you, we got a lot of FCS fans up in this part of the country. South Dakota State success, North Dakota State, and now Montana State wins it. An instant classic. Now, in the world of college football, FCS gets forgotten. You said, I think you just said, it was the game of the year. What'd you think?
I could not believe my eyes at these two great teams with two great stories just trying to give the game back and forth to each other like a hot potato in that final minute. I mean, Brock Spack, the Illinois State head coach, that's a call you take to your effing grave, to quote Herb Brooks, about not going for that 4th and 1. It was 4th and a foot, Nate. What? You get the first down there, and Montana State doesn't even have a chance to get the football back, but the kick was blocked, and Montana State had snap issues. It was just an incredible, incredible football. I mean, in general, it's hard to beat a championship game where you're throwing a game-winning touchdown on 4th and 10. It's hard to combine the elements to make it any more exciting than that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought the crowd was good, the juice was good, the atmosphere, the venue. This is all top-notch in Nashville last night. Bobcats win the FCS title game. Zach Barnett with some reaction from footballscoop.com. I do want to say one more on this. You know, people are throwing around, see, this is college football in its purest form. This is college football still, and the 24-team playoff at the FCS level, that's the way to go. I think the 24-team playoff is so much different than a 12-team playoff because the levels of football and what's going on, it's just way too different. We don't want a 24-team playoff in the FBS, do we?
Oh, well, I mean, I think people that try to draw equivalence between the two should not be taken. They're trying to sell you something. They're trying to do a bait and switch, because in the FCS, every single conference gets an automatic bid that wants one. So the number of auto or at-large bids is like 14, something like that. They're trying to make it at the FBS level. They're trying to make it like one group of 5 bid, if that, and then everyone else will just divide among the SEC, the Big Ten, and the Big 12, and the ACC can have theirs. They're not the same. They wouldn't be treated the same. The MAC champion is never getting into a 24-team FBS playoff. So anyone trying to draw equivalence there is lying to you.
What would you say from top-level teams in the FCS, the Montana States, the North Dakota States, the South Dakota States? They've all been at the top in the past decade. What would you say to their fan base when people have the argument, should they go FBS? Do you want to go FBS, or do you stay FCS as things play out?
I would stay FCS. I think. It's not to say that those schools couldn't come to the FBS and compete, because they certainly could. I mean, if James Madison has done it, then there's no reason the Dakotas or the Montanas, at the very least, couldn't do the same. But then you get here, and then what? Maybe you're making more money, but at the end of the day, it's not money. It's not your money. It's not money you could spend. It's the school's money. And James Madison just saw the fruits of their labor. By a miracle, they made it into the playoff, and then everyone was just trashing them and talking about, well, if they're here, we've got to raise the stakes. We got to make the moat a little bit deeper, so James Madison can't be here. And then they lose to Oregon by 17 points. So I got to give credit to Roger Sherman. Said that he went to the D2 title game, and no one there was bummed that they weren't in the FCS title game. No one at the FCS title game last night was bummed that they weren't in the college football playoff. So those schools have a great thing going for them. I wouldn't mess with that.
Okay, very interesting. Zach Barnett on tonight, national college football writer, footballscoop.com. Let's go to the college football playoff. I just want you to read. You just wrote a piece on Indiana and some of the teams that are in the playoff in the Final Four. Your take on Indiana is, I see they have a bunch of guys that have been playing college football for a long time. How did Indiana put this together? Through name, image, and likeness money? Through Cignetti? How did Indiana go from nothing to now?
I certainly think it's all of the above. Cignetti obviously knows what he's doing, and we may still be in the early stages of one of the great coaching stories in American sports in a long, long time. I mean, what the guy's done to get to here is incredible, and Indiana's now the favorite to win the national championship, and there's no sign they're going anywhere anytime soon, and the Big Ten certainly sets them up to succeed moving forward, and next year's team might be even more talented than this year's team. And I think Cignetti's experience going up and down the ladder from Alabama to IUP and then to the FCS, I mean, he really knows what it looks like at all levels of college football. So I think he can identify, who could play at the Big Ten level and who can't pretty quickly. And along the way, I think he's found some star coordinators in Mike Shanahan and Brian Haynes. Indiana has the largest alumni base in the country. The fact that Indiana basketball has been down for so long probably doesn't hurt. So I think it's all the above. And, their offensive line, we saw what they did to Alabama. 4 of those 5 have been in the college for at least 4 years. And this was something that college basketball coaches said early on in the NIL era. You weren't really hearing college football coaches say it as much, although it was the case for those Michigan and Washington teams that played for the national title. But we kind of assumed at the time that was just a remnant of the COVID era, that they had so many 5th and 6th year guys. But nowadays, the name of the game pretty much is to get old and to stay old in college football, and Indiana's find a way to do that.
Is Indiana the team to beat out of the Final Four? Who do you see?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my take going into last week's game was if we switched the helmets, we'd be asking, how the heck is this game not going to be a blowout? If Indiana had Alabama's profile and vice versa, you would have seen people predicting, quote-unquote, Alabama to go win by 50. And then that's exactly, Indiana practically did that. They treated Alabama like Alabama used to treat Michigan State back in the day.
Yeah.
So, again, if you change nothing on this team except for Ohio State or Michigan on their helmets instead of that IU, then they'd be getting ready to fit these guys for rings already. So, not to say they can't win it, but it's absolutely Indiana's to lose.
When you think about the other one, Ole Miss, Miami, how's Ole Miss playing this out with Lane Kiffin leaving? The offense coordinator still going to stay here. Do you think Lane Kiffin is forgotten by now at Ole Miss?
Oh, I mean, there is no doubt in my mind Lane Kiffin is going to be rooting against Ole Miss. He's 100% an immature narcissist, and he does not want people. I mean, it would be an all-time bad look to leave Ole Miss for LSU, not for more money, but because you think you can go win a national championship, and it turns out the only thing stopping Ole Miss from winning a national championship was you. That would be an all-time bad. That's the type of thing it's really hard to recover from. So there's no doubt that he's going to root for Miami, and luckily for Lane, I think Miami does win. I think they found their identity. They're playing such good defense that I think it's going to be a low score. I don't think it's going to set records for offensive efficiency or anything like that. But I think Miami is going to beat Ole Miss something like 21-16 on Thursday night.
Okay, so you got Miami over Ole Miss. You like Indiana, Oregon coming up on Friday. Zach Barnett on tonight. Before I let you on, what do you say to people up like up here? Iowa starting safety Cohen Entringer just entered the transfer portal. He was a captain, 73 tackles. Their leader said he loved Iowa. He goes to the transfer portal. Arch Manning's roommate, wide receiver, goes to Oklahoma. How do you what do you say to people if is that bad? Do we have to have multi-year contracts? What is the real answer?
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and defend the status quo because there's a reason no professional sports league in the world is structured like college football is, and we don't have time to get into why college football is structured the way that it is. I do think it's ultimately a good thing for college football. I mean, we don't get the Indiana story without the current setup. I think it's a good thing that college football is no longer working under an illegal and immoral labor practice to deny these guys the fruits of their labor. Just as you and I and everyone listening get to participate economically in the revenue we produce at our jobs. So I think it's ultimately a good thing. Obviously, I wish there was some sort of, like the NCAA tried, a day late and a dollar short, I know, to limit these guys to one free transfer as undergraduates, and that was thrown out by the courts. So I understand why they're on their knees begging Congress for help. We'll see if that ever happens. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it's good, but I'm not going to say it's all bad either. I get as grossed out as the next guy when you see TJ Finley looking for a seventh school in 7 years. I mean, come on. Diego Pavia probably shouldn't have been playing college football this past year. I get hot under the collar when these guys try and stay 5-6 years and all that stuff. I think that's wrong. You got your opportunity because someone else older than you moved on, so now it's your turn to do the same thing, and it's not anybody's fault, certainly not the NCAA's fault, that you weren't good enough to play at the FBS level out of high school. That's the way it goes. But at the same time, these guys have a right to pursue a living, and most of these guys will go pro in something other than football, so I don't begrudge them for trying to make the money they can while they can. But, yeah, if I could wave a magic wand and then limit these guys to one transfer in their careers, I would absolutely do that. But long story longer, that's not going to happen.
Zach Barnett on tonight, getting us started. National writer, footballscoop.com. Follow him on X if you're not, Zach_Barnett. I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Zach Barnett, national college football writer, footballscoop.com, live from Dallas. So he said I would keep the one transfer rule. Free transfer, you're good. You get one transfer, you're good. Well, that's absolutely where I was. When was that? I was there. I said, what's wrong with the one free transfer? Now it's all the time. It's all the time. So Iowa safety Cohen Entringer, if you just missed that, team captain, said he loved Iowa. It's great. He's gone. And, you just can't stop this. MSU had a star defensive back. I think he was just a freshman last night. And he announces after the game that he's gone. It's like he wasn't even on the plane yet. I don't know. Wasn't even on the plane yet. and Montana State loses one of their top DBs, and he's gone. And somebody said he has 2 power forfeits. It's already set up. Well, how'd that work? He was just playing last night. Must be quick on the text. I text these players, too. They don't respond. It's amazing. They don't want to come on the show and talk about it. Victor Flores is coming on next, Montana State beat writer. What was the title game like for the Bobcats? Victor Flores is back in Bozeman, home of the FCS National Champions. He's coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To run and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's your last chance to lock in 2025 pricing on our Acclaim replacement windows and ensemble entry doors. Get 20% off with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Pay nothing till 2027. Plus, get an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. If you've been thinking about replacing those drafty, outdated doors or windows, now is the time. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome in your sports, your show, The Nate Brown Show Live Tuesday edition of the program. From the FCS to the NFL, we got you covered from high school to college to the pros. We'll try and do it up tonight. Thought-provoking sports talk for South Dakota. Well, the FCS national title game, we started the show with it, and it's getting some attention, I will tell you that. We had Zach Barnett on from Football Scoop. He said it was the game of the year so far. The game of the year in college football. And I said, the crowd was unbelievable. The game was an all-timer. I mean, it was. I'm not saying it was the all-time greatest game. I'm just saying it was an all-timer. How it played out, the comeback, the overtime, the whole thing, the big swings and momentum. It was wild last night. The atmosphere, the venue, all top-notch. The FCS title game, that was good. That was a good show last night. Victor Flores was there. He covers Montana State. And he's given us some time tonight, probably sleepless. 406mtsports.com, where you can find his work on the Bobcats. Victor, welcome in, man. How are you?
Yeah, not much sleep, but, enough of it, and I'm still kind of riding the adrenaline of last night, so I'm not too tired, but definitely brain is a little frazzled and just still trying to process it all for sure.
I believe that, so you get some rest tonight. Let's put in some work. One more time here. I said the crowd was really, really good. Montana State has great fans, and I don't know if people understand totally. I mean, it's a really great fan base. What was Nashville like? What was the Montana State crowd like to you?
It was incredible. I mean, I had a feeling it would be, but just to see it in person when you didn't know what it was going to be like in Nashville because it was the first year there. Frisco was electric last year, but yeah, you just didn't quite know how it would all go. Seeing all the Bobcat fans around Nashville the previous few days, I again knew it was going to be good. But and credit Illinois State too; their fans really made a lot of noise for not being as many as the Montana State fans, but both sides were just crazy. I mean, I was on the field when those big pivotal plays at the end happened, and the noise, the crowd pops are things I'll never forget, and it's as loud as I've ever experienced, and I've been in pretty big crowds at other games as well. So yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was great atmosphere. The crowd was really, really good. Now I'm going to ask you, what was going on with Montana State? The 10 false starts. I mean, the Illinois State crowd might have been fine, but what was going on there?
That's a great question. I mean, I think with all the other stuff that happened, we probably didn't drill that down enough in the post game, and the press conference, only so many questions you can ask, and at least I don't remember. Maybe it did get addressed, and I'm still don't remember that. But no, I think I don't. That's just a hard one. I honestly don't have a great answer, just because maybe it was the crowd noise. I know I saw Brock Osweiler on the podcast was saying they need to go to a silent count, so maybe it was just really loud, and that stadium carries noise. I mean, 24,000, is a lot, but I mean, 24,000. I mean, they were able to do better with snapping and silent count and all that kind of stuff in Missoula when it was the same amount of people, but way more fans on the other side trying to make it loud. So I don't know. I mean, it could have been maybe weren't prepared for the noise as well. They didn't expect it to be that loud. It could have just been, some mental errors and some or technical things that just kind of some blunders, as simple as that, just making mistakes, not being focused, too nervous, all those things. I think JT Reed is got a really good head on his shoulders. He's a veteran. He's been in high pressure games, so I don't think it was really that. But yeah, I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you.
That was interesting last night. Montana State usually pretty disciplined, 10 false starts, and things started slipping away there at the end. When you were down on the field, did it feel like Illinois State's going to win this thing?
Oh, I thought about 10 different times they were going to win it. Once we got down to the field, it was about at the 5-minute mark or so, and they had just scored to tie it right as me and a couple other media members were going down to the field. And we were like, oh, that's tough. But hey, they're getting the ball back. Maybe they'll put together a good drive like they've done in previous games and figure it out. And they just, had more false starts, they looked discombobulated. They looked, it looked bad, what was happening. And so then and then they go back down and get into field goal range. And yeah, I just thought, okay, well, they're going to make this here, or they're going to score a touchdown. Right before that, there was a long pass. I'm like, it just seems like everything's on their side. And that's a good reminder that momentum, while I think it exists, is often overrated, and people pick and choose when they see it. And I think that's a game where, it seemed like one side had momentum and then they didn't, and another side did and they didn't. And sometimes just stuff happens. And, at this level, at the really high levels, I think teams are able to adjust. But yeah, I mean, if I do believe in momentum, and it felt like all the momentum was in Illinois State's favor. and it wasn't looking good for the Cats by any means.
Illinois State stormed back, dominated the fourth quarter. Montana State finds a way in overtime to win the national title. Victor Flores covered it. 406mtsports.com. Montana State Bobcats beat writer. So you tell me, Victor, 4th and about a yard for Brock Spack in Illinois State. I said as I was watching on TV, I said, I got to go for this because Illinois State's just moving the ball. They have all the positive things going on. Brock Osweiler on the broadcast said, no way you go for this. You kick the field goal, even with this new kicker. I didn't like it. What did you think when they sent out the kicking team on that 39-yard field goal?
I said it at the time. I mean, in person, I think one of the guys I was with could probably verify, but I thought, yeah, I agreed with you. I was like, you have to go for this. You're moving the ball. And I know in his post-game, Spack said, we kind of gotten blown up on the play before. So there were a little bit of reasons, I guess, recently or whatever it was to maybe be a little concerned that was going to be an issue, I guess. But I don't think so. I mean, I think that was a place where you go for it. And, okay, 38 yards, that should be a gimme, whatnot. And I know that kicker was new, and he wasn't the one who had all the block kicks earlier in the season. There were 5 total, but it was all from the other kicker, Maldonado. And so I get that that's a little bit more complicated there, but at the same time, it is 5 block kicks, and it probably wasn't all on your kicker. And as we saw in that game, the snap was low. That was really what caused it. And the block on the outside, they didn't block Chase McMillan, who got to the ball. So obviously that wasn't really on the kicker there all that much. So, I agree. I mean, at worst case, you go for it, 4th and 1, you don't get it. They have the ball with a minute left. I mean, you trust your defense the way they played to force overtime there. And, you're Illinois State, you shouldn't be here. You're probably thinking, like, we're playing with house money. You just beat North Dakota State in a similar situation. You went for 2 instead of trying to go to overtime. Like, go for the jugular. And if you get the first down there, which is very likely with the way you're playing, then you control the game. Then you could kick a field goal or, try to get a touchdown or, but MSU's not going to get a chance to get the ball back. Even if you make that field goal there, Montana State still has a chance to go down and kick a field goal or score a touchdown. They showed that at the end of the first half. So, yeah, I agree. I don't think that was a good decision.
It's interesting, man, because it did end up playing out where they still got a chance at overtime, and another block kick on the extra point opens it up, and Montana State makes the play on 4th and 10. They get the touchdown. You tell me how clutch, how big time Taco Dollar is, this kid out of Billings, Montana. What type of player?
Oh, I mean, he's a superstar. I think his name Taco helps for sure, but he's as electric as it comes at this level, and he could play at the next level, and maybe we'll see at some point. I don't have any inside information there, but I think he could certainly. I think there's no question that he has or will or could get FBS attention and play at the Power 4 level. So he's amazing. I mean, he showed it against Oregon earlier this season, and that play, they said they ran it earlier, right the play before when Jabez Woods dropped it and was nearly picked off, and they ran it kind of again, and man-to-man coverage. Taco Dollar, he's just such a good receiver. He can win that, and he's just so shifty and fast, and it's it was just an amazing play. It reminded me of the catch he made at the end of the title game last year against North Dakota State to cut it to a 3-point game late. Kind of a desperation, but it kept them alive. It was also a 4th down. And if they don't get that there, then it's 35-25 and the game's over. So there was at least some hope left for Montana State in that one, and it was a very similar throw and catch back then with Tommy Millott to the one that Lamson threw. So, yeah, Dollar had such a good game, and that was just so poetic, fitting that he was the one to make the biggest play of the game, and maybe in MSU history.
MSU wins the national championship for the first time in 41 years. Victor Flores covered the season. 406mtsports.com. Montana State beat writer live from Bozeman. I do want to get your read on this, though. Montana State lost lineman last year to the portal. Yeah, they lost some key players. They still brought back a nice team here. Now, I saw a defensive back already went into the portal, and he's got 2 Power 4 visits already. And people are wondering, okay, who else? Has Montana State been really hurt by the transfer portal, or getting a QB like Justin Lamson from Stanford, that also helped them on that side. So hurt or helped out of the portal?
Well, it's obviously a mixture of both. I think probably more hurt overall just because I think they just don't go to the portal that much. Like Lamson is a rare, Chris Long, the receiver who was a key player for them, was a portal guy. But so if you look at the biggest players in that game, Lamson's really the only one that you would point to. I mean, Alec Eckert, defensive lineman, he's been really key too. But most of their stars this year were guys that they recruited and brought in out of high school. So, yeah, it's probably more giveth or more taketh away than giveth. But they get key players out of the portal every year that, if they don't have them, if they don't have Lamson, good chance that they're not doing what they just did. So, no, I think it's hurt them more. But, it's also a more complex thing than just that as far as who's coming and going, because if they don't lose so many people to the portal, then some of these redshirt freshmen, I mean, the one you just mentioned, Seth Johnson, also Carson Williams, just a little bit ago announced that he entered the portal. He's another redshirt freshman quarterback who was really good, hits hard. It looks like some P4 interest already. Those guys are only in that position because so many corners left last year, whether it was graduation, but a couple portal guys, Andrew Powdrill, John Johnson, were both guys who had eligibility, would have, I'm sure, started, or at least were the starters the last year, and they left. And then these redshirt freshmen unknowns had to come in and step up, and they did. And so it's kind of this whole cycle, and it's just everything's sped up now, where you lose guys in 1 or 2 years instead of 3 or 4 or 4 or 5. The way it used to be when people would stay the whole time. So I think the team, Montana State's adapted. They know that, okay, we just got to build depth and have guys who are ready to step up. The next man up mentality. So they've done obviously a really good job of that, because last year they got pretty decimated by the portal, and obviously it didn't hurt them very much.
Montana State makes the run. They've been there 3 out of 5 years, and they get over the top in dramatic fashion last night. It was an all-time game. Bobcats are the FCS national champions. Bozeman, Victor Flores on tonight. Montana State writer for 406 MT Sports. Victor, enjoy it, man. I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Victor Flores live from Bozeman. Montana State writer, covered the game last night back in Bozeman. He is at 406mtsports.com. Good stuff. Find him on X at Victor Flores 406 for coverage of the FCS title game. Yeah, so Montana State, a couple of guys already on the defensive side entering the transfer portal. So, everybody says, "Oh, no, you're not supposed to be able to talk to these." Sure. They somehow have visits already set up. That's interesting. Listener text coming in on the transfer portal. This is just a blatant listener text. Listener text, transfer portal sucks. Players used to have to sit out a year. Have them sit out half a year. At least 3 games. Well, there's more news on the transfer portal. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of news with some big-time programs like Nebraska. We'll get into that coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's your last chance to lock in 2025 pricing on our acclaimed replacement windows and ensemble entry doors. Get 20% off with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Pay nothing till 2027. Plus, get an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. If you've been thinking about replacing those drafty, outdated doors or windows, now is the time. Call today or visit rbarapidcity.com to book your free estimate.
call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
Also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back in Your Sports, Your Show, The Nate Brown Show, live Fox Sports Radio, Tuesday edition of the program. We are live on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Remember that. Hope you're doing well on your drive home. The Nate Brown Show, built by Blackburn Foundation Repair. It is winter in South Dakota. Sometimes doesn't feel like it. Huh? It's kind of nice, but it is winter. That means buildings get brittle, foundations crack. If you need your foundation secure, your crawl space, keep it dry, your air clean, your family safe, go to blackburnrepair.com. They're the South Dakota experts since 1992. All across the state, local experts. Blackburn crews live right here in South Dakota, protecting South Dakota homes. blackburnrepair.com. Take your home off the injured list. Protecting homes, protecting families. blackburnrepair.com. Start there. Question of the day. If you haven't submitted an answer, you can do that. Let's get it in tonight. We're giving away a buffet a day on the Nate Brown Show, courtesy of the Pizza Ranch. We're going to give away a free buffet at the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. You got to answer the question of the day, and we're talking FCS title game last night. It was great, and people said this is what it's all about. I mean, you have the final two teams and the drama and the whole thing, and I agree. And then people went, hey, the FCS playoff system with 24 teams is better than the FBS college football playoff with 12 teams. And then I said, well, we just took it too far. Now we took it too far, but I'll leave it up to you. Question of the day, is the FCS playoff system better than the college football playoff system? What do you say? We're a lot of FCS fans up here. We're biased. Everyone thinks the 2014 playoff, that's how you do it. Illinois State wouldn't even been in the college football playoff because they were unranked and the whole thing. But they got in because of the strength of the Valley. That's why they got in. Some of these teams have no business being in the FCS playoffs. You win your conference championship, you're in, and your conference is dog biscuits. So, well, you can't compare it. Well, we should go to 24 teams in the FBS level. Did you watch James Madison and Tulane play? You don't want to take more teams than, go to 24. Everybody always wants to do more. We're going to do more in the college basketball tournament. We're going to let everybody. So, no, I do not think the FCS playoff system is better than the FBS system. They're different. They're both good. I'm not going to hit either one. I think the 12-team playoff's fine. The 2014 one, I guess, is fine, even though it seems like half the teams don't even have a shot. Not even close. I mean, not even close. So that's our question of the day. You tell me, is the FCS playoff system better than the college football playoff system? They're totally different, and I don't think you can say one is better than the other. But 77% of the audience on Twitter is voting for the FCS playoff system's better. More teams, more games. 23% of you say, no, the 12 top teams is the best system. You tell me on the text line, 605-720-1067. Giving away a buffet a day from the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. We'll pull it out on the text line. We let our winner last night know, and we'll tell you how you can win that free buffet just by submitting an answer to the Nate Brown Show question of the day. Hang tight here. Brian Knowles coming up. Fox Sports Radio national host. Great guest. He's on tap. Big news out of the NFL today. Zach Borg's coming up from Midwest Sports Plus, live from Sioux Falls. He's on tap. I do want to get into something, speaking of the transfer portal. So I'm going to ask you guys, did Nebraska just make a big mistake? People are talking about this the last 24 hours now. And, of course, leave it to Nebraska. Oh, no. Can we stop? Are we going to pick on the Huskers on this? But really, did they make a big mistake? Here's what's been going on. People threw out that Lincoln Kienholz, maybe Nebraska will look at Lincoln. The Pierce, South Dakota star. Nebraska looked at him before. I know he went to Washington, but not really, and then he went to Ohio State, and now he ends up at Louisville. Lincoln Kienholz ends up at Louisville. Did Nebraska make a mistake by not even going down that road, apparently, because they were trying to get this guy from Notre Dame, Kenny Minchey? Are you following this? Kenny Minchey is Notre Dame quarterback into the transfer portal. That was Nebraska's number one target. They were bringing him in. They had it all ready to go. The NIL, the whole thing. He was going to go eat dinner. He had it all set up. And then Kentucky picks him up last night. Kentucky comes in and pays him NIL, and they pick up Kenny Minchey. He picked the Huskers, and then he flips to Kentucky at the last second. Don't you just love this business? You just love it. Yeah, we're good. I'm coming to Matt Rule. I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to compete, I guess, with TJ Lateef, and Nebraska's going to go for Kenny Minchey. Did Nebraska not even look at Kienholz? Did they not even think about him? They were all in on Kenny Minchey because, no, we got him. That's our guy. And they just stopped. That's it. He's the guy. And then Kentucky comes in. Here's some money. And they love the money, right? I don't know how much money it was, but here's some money, and I'm going to go to Kentucky. You got this new coach over there. He said he's going to get developed there better. And now Nebraska's staring into the wind. They're staring into the wind. No Lincoln Kienholz coming. And they got TJ Lateef. That's it for now. And I mean, you got to try and come up with something here. Husker fans aren't going to be able to sit here and go, yeah, we're gonna run it back. We're gonna be dominant. We're gonna be really good with TJ Lateef. I don't know that. I think Lateef is fine. I don't think you can be really, really super happy and ready to go with Lateef. Supposedly they were gonna get Kenny Minchey from Notre Dame, and now no dice. He goes to Kentucky. I love the portal world, don't you? Did they even look at Lincoln Kienholz? He ends up in Louisville. Interesting deal there for Kienholz. By the way, let's get into this next hour. This world we're living in where donors give the money, right? They buy the players. There's one program. Big article just came out today. One program has a big booster who's given a bunch of money, and he says he's tired of it. We'll get into that coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Text scams continue to rise, and victims who have lost money to these scams continues to increase. Consumers cannot rely on a text message to be truthful. If you receive a message regarding a fine for missing jury duty, your utilities being shut off for non-payment, toll road fines, or you've won a sweepstakes, these are scams designed with an urgency and the need to send money now. Do not respond to these texts, and you should contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986. That's 800-300-1986 for the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division.
The playoffs are coming fast. For the best way to watch postseason football, come to Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort and grab a seat in the BetMGM Sportsbook. The playoff package is now available. Reserve today and get $20 in free play as well as a guaranteed seat at the hottest sportsbook in town. Watch your favorite matchups on wall-to-wall television arrays with comfortable and spacious seating. And grab a drink or bite to eat from Patio Neal's while you watch. Let us host your playoff party this year at the BetMGM Sportsbook at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort in Deadwood. Learn more at tinlizzy.com.
On January 20th, we face a choice. A yes vote for smart growth that creates new revenue for a generation. Paid for by private businesses, not taxpayers. Smart growth funds our schools, roads, public good, and city needs, like our library. Tired of the noise? Get the facts at voteyesjan20.com. When you have the facts on your side, it is easy to see why you should vote yes. Again, get the facts. VoteYesJan20.com. Paid for by Citizens for Responsible Growth.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear, Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Chatting with Brian at Anytime Auto Sales. Winter is here, and as always, we're here to help with all your winter automotive needs. From mobile oil changes to around the wheel and under the hood repairs, we fix most everything, and we'll do it at an affordable price. What about tires, batteries, and brakes? Absolutely. With over 50 brand name tires, we have deals as good as anywhere. 10% off our Duralast Pro Power Ultra batteries, a 5-year battery with roadside assistance, and flat out the best brake deal around at just $399 per axle with new pads, rotors, labor, and a lifetime warranty for most vehicles. Fantastic. And if people need financing, can you help there? Yes, we can. We offer the AutoPass card, an interest-free card for 6 months on every repair over $199, which saves a lot of people who need immediate help with repairs. Get an answer in minutes from our homepage at anytimeanytime.com. Just click the AutoPass Apply Now button.
Take advantage of that card, people. See anytimeanytime.com. And, of course, at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
It is the Nate Brown Show. We are live on a Tuesday on your drive home. Hope you're good to go tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show is live on Fox Sports Radio. KWSN Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Welcome in. Also on Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad you're here. Two good, great guests coming up. Zach Borg live, Midwest Sports Plus. We'll talk FCS and high school hoops. Showdown in West Central Sioux Falls Christian tonight. Boys basketball, big one. Midwest Sports Plus broadcaster Zach Borg's coming up. Brian Noah's on the way, one of our all-time A-listers, one of our friends of the show. Brian Noah, national radio host on Fox Sports Radio every weekend, all season long. He's the countdown to kickoff host, getting you set for the biggest games in the country. Brian Noah's live talking John Harbaugh let go today and more. So we'll get into a lot of NFL. Brian Noah on tap. If you want to be a part of the program, 605-720-1067. That's the Pizza Ranch studio hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch. Locations at East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon, a great location, home of everyone's favorite buffet, your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. And the text line's open as well, 605-720-1067. You want to be a part of the Pizza Ranch question of the day, maybe win a free free buffet. We're going to give away a buffet a day on the Nate Brown Show just by answering the question of the day through the text line. We'll pull out a winner, notify you at the end of the program, and then we'll set you up with a free buffet at the Pizza Ranch. 605-720-1067. Lister text coming in if you want in. Question of the day is the FCS playoff system better than the FBS playoff system? Let's have it out. FBS playoff system we complain about. There's 12 teams, and we put James Madison in there in Tulane, and everybody cried about that. I cried a little. Everybody cried about it. And then, 4 teams, we thought that was not enough. We cried about that. And now we go to 12, and then people say, well, the 24-team FCS system's really the best. And that gives all the conference champions a shot, and it's a true playoff system, and you put Illinois State and Montana State together last night. You got instant drama. So is the 24-team FCS playoff better than the 12-team college football playoffs? Our question of the day. Here's an honest broker. Lister text. No. Currently, both the FCS and FBS first rounds suck. Well, what is it with people today? Everybody's saying everything sucks today. Both playoffs need to only have the best 6 or 8 teams in the country. That's it. Only 6 or 8 teams each year can really win the championship. Well, hang on a second. I know what you're saying. I understand. What about Illinois State last night? They wouldn't have been considered one of the 6 or 8 best teams, right? Because they play in a tough valley. Their record wasn't outstanding, so they got an at-large. They went all the way. They should have won last night. So hang on a second. 12-team playoff is fine. You just have to figure out how you can't keep Notre Dame out and put Tulane in. I mean, we got to be honest there. That's bad. That's bad. Miami barely got in, by the way. You said 6 to 8 best teams. Miami barely got in. And they're on the verge of going to the national championship. So hang on there. Lister text coming in. The FCS is better. It's just better football. Well, I don't know what you mean by that. Better football. I mean, it was exciting. I've been an FCS guy since I've grown up in Montana. So I've really been in Montana and South Dakota most of my life. And so I get the FCS. I've been a fan all the way, but can't quite say better football. I think you're saying, well, that's truly college football. It's not, corrosive. It's not jaded. It's not like the FBS and the NIL and all that. Maybe that's where you're going. I get it. Lister text coming in. FCS all the way. Another one. FCS playoff system by far the best. Let's see. 77% of the audience is voting on Twitter that the FCS system's better. More teams, more games. I just think it's different. I think we forget after the recency of last night's game, which was outstanding, the crowd, the game, the venue, the electricity. I mean, it was outstanding last night. I think we forget Tennessee Tech, New Hampshire, Mercer. I think we forget some of these teams, like they're playoff teams. They have no business. So I think too many teams get to the FCS playoff system, if we're honest. I think too many teams. Let's go to this story out of Colorado. This is an important story because I should ask this question of the day. How do you fix the people offering the blank check and then, a quarterback leaves Nebraska. He was going to go to Nebraska yesterday, and then he leaves and goes to Kentucky. It was all set. Everything was done outside of just getting that signature done, and then Kentucky comes in and offers all this money, I guess, to this quarterback. Well, here's the story out of Colorado. A Colorado Buffaloes booster, one of their top boosters, is in a story today from Sean Keeler out of the Denver Post, who we've had on the show a lot. We'll see if we can get Sean again. But a longtime Colorado Buffaloes booster is saying he's funded payments for NIL to players who have now left the program. And so he's frustrated by no loyalty to the program. Here's the quote out of the story. This is a longtime Colorado Buffaloes booster. Here's the quote. You give them that check and the guy's gone tomorrow. To hell with that. That ain't happening to me. no allegiance, no money. So I like talking tough. It's good talking tough. Hey, we can't have this. We ain't going to give you money. You got to stay. Well, the transfer portal says I can go to the portal every year. I can go every year and I can get more money from somebody else. Or you better give me more money if I'm going to stay. How do you fix that, guys? It's the mystery of college sports. The only answer I have, the contracts that have to be in place. Somebody's going to have to do something to enforce contracts. And instead of being worried about, I'm going to get sued here and sued there, everybody's so worried. Oh, we can't do that. Antitrust and the NCAA and the lawsuits and the this. How can you not do contracts and enforce NIL contracts? This can't just be a one-year free agency thing. You can't do it. So how many schools are having trouble with donors who are say this guy said, that ain't happening to me. No allegiance, no money. So these donors are giving money and then players are leaving because they're going to get more money or whatever it is. Nebraska loses their top quarterback recruit yesterday because they didn't offer the money, I guess. So then are you telling me Nebraska should just say, okay, we're going to take a chance. We'll give you $3 million, Kenny Minchey. We're not sure if you're going to be totally the guy, but here's $3 million, blank check. You can't do it. And then we're sitting here, we lose players, and then donors give the money, and now they're upset. Somebody's going to have to enforce a contract. Otherwise, it's just the same old thing, and it's getting bad. It is getting bad. Longtime Colorado booster, check that story on Denver Post today. You give him a check, and the guy's gone tomorrow. What's the answer? Multi-year contracts, you got to hold them to it, enforce it, you got to have buyouts. Why aren't we doing that? Is everybody scared that bad? I mean, I'm not a lawyer. It might get scary, but somebody's going to have to take a stand sometime. This is free agency every year, no contracts, no rules. It's just I'm in, I'm out, and I can take money and leave? It's amazing. Enforce a contract. Get a buyout. There's contracts in all sorts of businesses. Let's come back with Brian Note tonight, Fox Sports Radio national host. Countdown to kickoff. Big firing in the NFL. Reaction coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's your last chance to lock in 2025 pricing on our Acclaim replacement windows and ensemble entry doors. Get 20% off with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Pay nothing till 2027. Plus, get an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. If you've been thinking about replacing those drafty, outdated doors or windows, now is the time. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
The Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
Welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live tonight on Fox Sports Radio. KWSN, Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Thanks for checking in today, making the show possible. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Book it. Brian Noe is in tonight, Fox Sports Radio national host of Countdown to Kickoff. The football season is going to the playoffs. The Broncos are the number 1 seed, and Brian Noe is on tonight. Brian, welcome in. How are you?
I love how you combine those two things together. That was great, Nate. But, yeah, man, good to be with you. I'm good. Things are fine. I'm still riding the New Year's wave, so things are good, man. Everything good with you?
All right. Very good. Very good. I just set you up on that. You know that. My Broncos are the number 1 seed. My Super Bowl prediction, I made it last night. I'm going with the 2 number 1 seeds. It is going to be your boy Sam Darnold and the Seahawks against the Broncos. And you say what?
Not happening. Not going to happen. No. You know what? I feel strongly that the opposite will happen. It will not be either number 1 seed. I think that is more likely to happen than both number 1 seeds getting there.
Okay, so that's an interesting spin there. Let's go to, I'm going to get to the playoffs. Let's go to this, though. John Harbaugh, biggest news of the day. John Harbaugh let go from the Ravens. 18 years, Super Bowl champion. I mean, all of that stuff. What do you think about the Ravens saying time for a change? It reminds me of, I don't know, Andy Reid with the Eagles. I mean, but John's been there a long time. What do you think of that call today?
Yeah, I like that comparison. There are a lot of similarities between Big Red and John Harbaugh. And, man, Andy Reid didn't even win a Super Bowl in Philly, right? So when you look at John Harbaugh and his run in Baltimore, a lot of success. And, listen, I get what they're saying here, but I don't agree with it. I understand the whole thing of, hey, you know, the same thing you always hear, like maybe his voice doesn't cut through the same way it once did. Like you always hear that. Maybe it's true to some degree, but I don't look at John Harbaugh as the reason why Baltimore isn't getting where they want to go. I don't look at him as like the anchor holding back the organization. I just don't see that being the case. And if you look at this season, I mean, you think this is more John Harbaugh, or do you think it's many other factors? The defense isn't as special as it once was.
Yeah.
I actually think, Nate, you hear a lot of this like, hey, look at the Lions offense without Ben Johnson. I think the Ravens losing Mike Macdonald as a defensive coordinator has been way more impactful than the Lions losing Ben Johnson as their offensive coordinator. That Ravens defense was once special, and Mike Macdonald had his fingerprints all over that thing. And without him there, they've taken a step back. Now, injuries have impacted that as well. But then you look at Lamar. Lamar was a back-to-back MVP. He arguably could have been a 3-time MVP. And he did not play even close to that same level this season. That's not a John Harbaugh thing, and he missed a lot of games. So all of those factors, like that's just, to me, that's a weird move to fire John Harbaugh, and you can talk yourself into it. I get it. And how long he was there, almost 2 decades, and you want more postseason success. But again, I always go back to, I don't think that John Harbaugh was the guy holding back their success. I think it was more so Lamar not playing even close to an MVP level. He had 3 straight games where he had no touchdowns. That's not the Lamar we know. So I think it was that, the defense taking a step back, and I think it's maybe an overreaction to that Week 18 game where, hey, he doesn't run the ball and pick up 4 or 5 yards and get closer. Maybe that makes a difference. Maybe it doesn't. But I think all of that factored into them making this decision and, in my opinion, overreacting by letting him go.
What about this? I think this is a weird deal, that Week 18 thing, Brian. I think if the Ravens lose, now John Harbaugh gets fired. What if the Steelers lost? Was Mike Tomlin out too? People were talking about that before that game started.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, right? Like, how crazy is that between John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin? Loser is out of their job? Like, it's at least possible.
Yes,
I don't know that he would have gotten run, but I can't say he wouldn't have. Let's say, Tyler Loop hits that last-second field goal. The Steelers lose. I have a hard time seeing Tomlin getting fired, but I guess crazier things have happened, so I guess it's at least possible, right?
I didn't expect Harbaugh today. Let me just say that. I did not expect that.
Yeah, I didn't have it either, but it's not the shocker of shockers, but it is a surprise. I definitely was surprised to see that.
Okay, I want to get your read on the Browns and the situation. Does Kevin Stefanski get a job right away, do you believe?
Yeah, I think so. Like, he's a 2-time Coach of the Year. I think he's going to get a gig. I'm surprised that it was funny. They asked Haslam, the question was like, do you think that the roster was good enough for the Browns to win more games this season? I'm paraphrasing, but that was what he was getting at. And Haslam kind of hemmed and hawed. He was like, I mean, it'd be really easy for me to say that. And he figured out, like, there's no other way to go but to then say, and what he said, he's like, yeah, I thought we could have won more games. And it's like, really? Like, with that roster, with 2 rookie quarterbacks, like, how much more winning did you expect to do exactly? So I don't know, man. He's going to get hired right away. And it's just the Browns being the Browns, man. It's another chapter in the dysfunctional book of dysfunction. That's the Cleveland Browns, man. It's another installment of what's going wrong, like the latest thing to go wrong with that organization.
I'll ask you one question about your Miami Dolphins, and we have at least one Dolphins fan that listens to the Nate Brown Show. This is for both of you. You're going to keep Mike McDaniel, so we understand that. Dolphins fired the GM a while ago. So firing a GM, keeping McDaniel. What do you do with Tua's going to be out? I guess the GM paid him. Where are the Dolphins going with Mike McDaniel and a quarterback?
It's just a disaster, Nate. Like, for me and the one fan in South Dakota, and God bless his soul. I can tell this is a great gentleman already. He's going places in life. But listen, like, it's just a disaster where, like, Mike McDaniel's quote the other day, he was like, yeah, I'm going to help in the GM search, and as long as I remain head coach, I don't, it's like, has that not been defined yet? Like, has his role not been defined? Have they clearly come out and said, we're retaining you, you're going to be back, this is what we're doing? Because his statement led me to believe they haven't done that. He's like, as long as I'm the head coach here, I'm going to assist in the GM search, and until they tell me otherwise, that's what I'm going to do. And it's like, what are we doing? What a clown show of an organization. I love the Miami Dolphins, but I don't like the idea of just doing things halfway. And they're like, I loved Breaking Bad. And there was a whole episode about a full measure or a half measure, and how it's just a bad, it's a bad approach to just take a half measure. And that's what the Dolphins are doing. How has Mike McDaniel shown you that he's won he should remain as the head coach? What has he shown you to say, oh, we're hiring a new GM, but we're going to retain him? Like, why? Why wouldn't you just clean house, start fresh, new GM, new head coach, new quarterback? Why are you keeping Mike McDaniel? Why are you keeping 1/3 of the continuity and switching 2/3 of it? It makes no sense to me. I think it's a dumb approach. I don't know what he's done that's been so like, whoa, wow, like we can really build upon this. I don't see it. He's a guy that lacks making adjustments. This is a team that's going to have to make adjustments all day with a roster that isn't good as good as a lot of teams. So I just don't think McDaniel should stay there. And I just think it's a bad approach to keep him there while they change the other stuff around him. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Brian Noe is in tonight. He is on Fox Sports Radio, and he's on X at The No Show. Here it is. Let's put it out there. You said no way for my Broncos, no way for the Seahawks. So the 2 number 1 seeds you say are out. Who is the favorite right now, the Brian Noe favorite in the AFC and the NFC today?
Well, listen, I will not say no chance, no how. I feel strongly that we're not going to see 2 number 1 seeds in the Super Bowl. I just think it's way too wide open this season. But for either individually, I won't say no chance, no how for Seattle. I won't say even for your fugazi, very fraudulent Denver Broncos team. I will not say no chance, no how, Nate Brown. I'm a fair and open-minded man. And it's wide open in the AFC, so they at least have a shot. I would never say they have no shot. But who I think is going to get there, I'm still on the Rams, man. I think the Rams are the class of the NFC. And in the AFC, I still like these Patriots, man. I'm going to say either the Patriots or the Jacksonville Jaguars. How about that? But if push comes to shove, I'm going Jacksonville is what I'm doing. They play great rush defense. Trevor Lawrence is playing the best football of his career. Liam Cohen has made a big, big difference. So I listen, man, I think the Jags are absolutely live to come out of the AFC.
Okay, I think the Jags have been playing really well. They're strong. Trevor Lawrence is good. I think they're undervalued. Jaguars, Rams from Brian Noe, at least as we start the wild card weekend. Jaguars, Rams, book it. Brian Noe tonight. We'll talk again, man. I always appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
You got it, Nate Brown. Good luck to your Broncos. Hey, you can just kick back and drink some lemonade and watch the Super Wild Card weekend. No sweat at all. You're on to the next round. Good for you. That's nice.
I feel good, and I can relax this weekend. There's no doubt. Brian Noe is on tonight. Fox Sports Radio's national host of Countdown to Kickoff, a great pregame show all season long. He leans Jags, Rams. Jags, Rams. All right. We'll ask that question of the day as we get closer to the wild card weekend. I think I want to get people's Super Bowl picks before we, get too far into this. I want to see if anybody can get this right in the great state of South Dakota. I want to see. So let's see. We might do that tomorrow. We'll see. So come back tomorrow with your Super Bowl predictions. Come back tomorrow. Think about it. Think long and hard. I've already told you, Broncos, Seahawks. Would love to see it. 2 wins by each team, and we got it. Broncos, Seahawks. Would love to see it. Lister text coming in on John Harbaugh getting fired. This is a great reference. Lister text. John Harbaugh getting fired like that was like Pat Bowlen firing Mike Shanahan. Yes. Great reference. Shanahan, success. There a long time. Really, really at a high level. And then all of a sudden, just like, we're going to move on from Mike Shanahan. It's like, huh? I remember that. As a Broncos fan, I was like, okay, what? And Ravens get rid of John Harbaugh today. This is a great reference. That's the best one. That's the best one. Pat Bowlen getting rid of Mike Shanahan after success. Like, well, it's just kind of time for a new thing here. How did that work out after Mike Shanahan anyway? It was like, John Fox, it's okay. And we've kind of had a tough time until Sparky showed up, right? So Zach Borg's on tonight, Midwest Sports Plus, Sioux Falls broadcaster. I want to know what he thinks about the FCS title game last night and the showdown in high school boys basketball tonight. Coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Update your home for the new year with help from Menards. Organize your home with Closet Made. We carry everything you need to maximize your space in closets, pantries, laundry rooms, and more. Find the closet solution that's right for you and save big money. Check out all our Closet Made closet kits in store. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
It seems like the cost of everything is going up, so it's nice to save a little dough when you can, especially for something you love to eat every day. Before I go grocery shopping, I print out a coupon for $1 off any Country Hearth, Village Hearth, or Artisan Hearth bread product. My favorite is Dakota Style 12 grain. My wife's breakfast go-to is a toasted Village Hearth English muffin. We can save $1 on each. Go to countryhearthbreads.com/coupons and print 1 or 2 out before your next shopping trip. And don't forget, Country Hearth, Village Hearth, and Artisan Hearth bread products are baked locally and delivered fresh daily.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely, and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger?
Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
At Dakota Discount RV, we're in it for the long haul, just like you. Whether it's cross-country adventures, weekends by the lake, or family time under the stars, we're here to keep you rolling for years to come. While others are packing up, we're doubling down with dependable service, great prices, and the biggest selection in the region. Your journey doesn't stop here, and neither do we. Here tomorrow, here for every mile ahead. Visit us in Rapid City or Somerset or online at dakotadiscountrv.com.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
If you want the peace of mind that your next pre-owned vehicle is the best it can be, you want Honda True. And you only find it at Danny Manholt Rushmore Honda. Our Honda certified pre-owned vehicles are thoroughly inspected and backed by 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, up to 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and 3-day exchange. You simply can't buy the wrong vehicle. Search our inventory at honda-true.com or see us at Denny Manholt Rushmore Honda.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. The Nate Brown Show, powered by Black Hills Federal Credit Union, my family's banking partner. I want you to know being a member there has been the absolute right choice, no doubt, from vehicle loans to mobile banking on my phone. It's best in technology and convenience, but a personal connection at Black Hills Federal Credit Union. 18 locations across the state. Very convenient. Visit bhfcu.com. From the Black Hills to Sioux Falls, really easy to get started. Become a member at Black Hills Federal Credit Union. Let them help you from personal to business banking. bhfcu.com. Zach Borg tonight. He's been covering high school hoops on Midwest Sports Plus. Do you have the new app? Midwest Sports Plus. Zach, welcome in. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, Nate?
Good, man. I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna start with FCS here, and you're big FCS. You're saying this FCS title game. This is what it's all about. I thought the drama was great. The atmosphere was great. The crowd was great. It was all good last night. The FCS title game over a bowl game, and you say that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I made a statement that I know is kind of blown up a little bit about, that you're not going to get this in the average bowl games, and you won't. Obviously there's a whole lot more that goes into making a move to FBS than just what postseason you're going to play in. It's about money, it's about exposure, it's about a lot of things, but I'll say this, and I don't know when it's going to. I don't know when it'll happen. I think eventually a lot of the teams in this region, if not all of them, will probably be at some higher level down the road. But I think FCS has the best postseason format of any level of college football. That's not just FBS. That's Division II. That's Division III. And that's probably NAIA. I think NAIA has actually got a pretty decent setup as well. But I mean, this is the best playoff. Every conference champion gets an automatic bid, even the conferences that aren't quote-unquote the best. You get a decent amount of at-larges, and even though more often than not it goes to chalk, and your typical, and Montana State's a usual favorite, so you can't necessarily say it was that unpredictable. But it's a true playoff format. It gives everyone a shot, and you get compelling theater like you got last night, and it just you don't get that in the other levels of college football as much.
Okay, let me ask you about that 4th and 1 call. Brock Osweiler on the broadcast said Brock Spack has to kick this field goal. You can't go for it and not get it when you could have had a field goal. Yet new kicker, they've had kicks blocked. I mean, it's a mess. What do you do on 4th and 1? Easy for us to say now, but I did say last night, I think he should go for it. I didn't know it would get blocked.
Well, it was one of those things, and I said it right before, and I'm like, God, this is the worst possible position for a coach to be in, I think. And obviously, Brock Spack's probably forgotten more football than any of us know, but I think that was the other thing. I don't think you even realized until you saw his number that it was a different kicker. I think they were putting it on a redshirt freshman. I think they had something like 5 kicks blocked throughout the season, so I mean, and from 38 yards, especially in college, it's one thing in the pros. I mean, now in the NFL, guys are hitting it from 60 to 70 anymore, and that's ridiculous. But college, the farther you go down, especially into the FCS, there's no such thing as a reliable kicking game, and that's not just the kicker, that's your holder, that's your snapper. I mean, more can go wrong, and from 38 yards, I understood the reasoning for taking that, but the way they were moving the ball, especially in a lot of short yardage situations, there was a lot of 3rd and 3, 3rd and shorts, 4th and shorts. I felt like there was a pretty good chance they could pick that first down up, move it closer, even though now they did get an extra point blocked in overtime, which ended up being the difference. But get that first down, move the kick closer so it's a chip shot, because 38 yards, you still have to drive that thing up, whereas a chip shot, it's a little bit closer. Move it closer, potentially run out the clock. I think Brock, and the irony is Spack has kind of always been kind of a conservative coach. When they won the game in Fargo, it kind of shocked everybody that he went for 2. That's kind of not what he does when he went for the 2-point conversion, which they ended up winning on. And unfortunately, I think he kind of picked a bad moment to revert to his normal style, and I think it kind of bit him.
It did bite him, and you know how it is. If he goes for the 4th down and 1 and doesn't get it, people go ballistic too, and they say, "I can't believe it! Why would you do that? Why didn't you go for the game-winning field goal?" So, I mean, it's
a real no man's land, and then there's also the criticism as well on the 4th down play where he sends an all-out blitz.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
I've been on I'm a firm believer in Steve Spagnuolo's pressure defense and just send the house, but man, in college, you're not talking about pros back in the secondary. If you're going to send that all-out blitz, they got to get there, and they did not get home.
No, tough loss for Illinois State, an instant classic in the FCS championship last night. Talking to Zach Bort, he's covered the FCS. He's on Midwest Sports Plus. Let's shift gears. Let's go to some high school hoops. How about this game tonight? West Central, Sioux Falls Christian boys. It's the top showdown in Class A. You think West Central has a shot from what you know?
I do. I saw West Central. We got them, I think it was the second game of the year. We did a broadcast with them in Del Rapids. Now, Del Rapids is not what they have been in the past. They're kind of rebuilding. I think they're on their 3rd or 4th coach now in 4 years. But West Central, obviously, you're very familiar with their coach, a guy by the name of Dave Hollenbeck, who they coaxed out to East River to wear more blue, so he didn't really have to change his wardrobe that much. But they were a team that made state last year for the first time in eons. So, and they returned a lot of that team. They got the big center big guy. I think he's 6'10", Will Cool. His name's Cool. Big rangy guy. He can shoot. The point guard, Mebius, is really good. I think he's committed to Northern. So it's a good team. Now, Sioux Falls Christian. Obviously, they don't have the elder Goodberry, who's now playing at Drake, but his brother's pretty good, and you know what you're going to get with Coach Mike Scouten. So it's a really good matchup, but I wouldn't be shocked if we're getting it again in March. I think West Central's got a shot, but it's always tough to go into that Charger Gymnasium. It's a smaller gym, but they will pack it in. It will be full, it'll be loud, it'll be raucous, and it's going to be weird because it's early January, yet it's going to feel like a March atmosphere.
I think it's going to be a really good game. By all accounts, it sounds like West Central is really, really good with Dave Hollenbeck. Sioux Falls Christian, the top team. Do you think Sioux Falls Christian could be the best team out of all classes? People have thrown that out.
Ooh. Well, it's hard to imagine when you lose a player as good as Goodberry a year, no pun intended, as Goodberry a year ago, that they just aren't going to miss a beat. But they defeated a very good Huron team just the other week at the Hoop City Classic.
Yeah.
And, we're going to get a lot better. Well, and again, beating AA is never necessarily a guarantee of anything. I mean, we just saw Lyman's girls beat Mitchell. So, but I think this is one of the best tests. I think Hamlin. You got to keep an eye out for Hamlin because a couple of years ago we thought it was Sioux Falls Christian's year then, too, and Hamlin beat them. So there's some good depth. And by the way, St. Thomas More is still lurking out there, too, even though Dave's not out there. So Class A, to me, is always it kind of ends up being this way in football with like 11A, which is kind of the equivalent to me. It's always kind of the best class. I know AA is the biggest one, but even though Sioux Falls Christian was the dominant team and we kind of knew it was going to be them a year ago, there's always a little more. Sometimes there's just always some really good depth, and you tend to get the best state tournaments. So I think I'm not willing to go so far yet as to say Sioux Falls Christian's the best in the state overall, but they always have the depth, they always have some talent, and Mike's got it rolling over there right now.
By the way, Sioux Falls Lincoln boys, this just in, they're really good. Really good.
They feel like the class of AA. They've got the two Sams, Erickson and DeGroat. Brody Schaefer, who's obviously the more known for football. He's going to be obviously playing at SDSU. He's committed there. But those Sams are both heading to Augie. You've got kind of inside-outside presence. Schaefer runs a beautiful point. They got a lot of guys who are, I think they got a guy on the bench who's committed to go play at Dakota Wesleyan. So they're a load. And but I think there's some other good teams. We'll see what happens as the year develops. I think Roosevelt's going to get a lot better, even though I know they just lost, I think, by 19. Jefferson, I think, has some tools. There are some teams around here. And, again, and some of those, I mentioned Huron. Huron's really good. I think Mitchell is one to watch out for with Colton Smith. But right now, Lincoln really looks like the class. But, didn't we say that in football, too? And look what happened.
We could see a state championship preview tonight in Class A boys. Could. Christian playing West Central coming up. We'll keep an eye on it. Zach Borg is on tonight. Follow him at Iceborg. And he's on Midwest Sports Plus, the new high school sports streaming app with great coverage of high school basketball all season long. Zach, good to have you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Good to be on, Nate. Take care.
See ya. Zach Borg, Midwest Sports Plus, live from Sioux Falls. Keep an eye on Sioux Falls Christian West Central tonight, the biggest showdown in South Dakota high school basketball so far. Who's hot and who's not? Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. The Rapid City Rush hockey team does a promotion I haven't seen coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Hey, Hey, Black Hills, this is Scott Hanna.
And this is Adam Ray, and we have a full-service mechanical repair shop, Gateway Tire and Alignment, right here, right now.
We have top-of-the-line equipment with skilled, experienced, expert mechanics.
Offering all services from oil changes starting at $49.95 to brakes to free AC checks, diagnostics, engine work, even diesel.
We can get you in now. No more waiting for weeks to get your car in for service.
We're your one-stop shop for sales and service.
Visit us at 123 Omaha or go to gatewayautoplex.com to book your appointment.
Gateway Sales and Service.
I'm Scott Hanna.
And I'm Adam Ray.
And nobody
beats a Gateway deal.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows around 36. Tonight, under partly cloudy skies, winds out of the southwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. 57 tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. Overcast skies tomorrow night, lows level off around 28. Slight chance of snow Thursday with highs in the upper 30s, lots of sunshine Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 48 degrees.
On January 20th, we face a choice. A yes vote for smart growth that creates new revenue for a generation. Paid for by private businesses, not taxpayers. Smart growth funds our schools, roads, public good, and city needs, like our library. Tired of the noise? Get the facts at VoteYesJan20.com. When you have the facts on your side, it is easy to see why you should vote yes. Again, get the facts. VoteYesJan20.com. Paid for by Citizens for Responsible Growth.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jensen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, let's do it tonight. Every night at this time. Who's hot and who's not? Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Locations in Brandon. Great Fun Zone Arcade to get inflatables at the location. I mean, it's outstanding. East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Stop into the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Enjoy the best buffet in town. Locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. Who's hot and who's not on the Nate Brown Show? Let's go with my who's hot category. The Athletic just broke down the analytics. You know, the analytics of who has the best chance of winning the Super Bowl. Who has the best chance? 19% chance the Patriots win. 19% chance. 32% chance the Broncos win. 45% chance the Seahawks. Huh? Wow. All right. Seahawks, best chance to win the Super Bowl. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category tonight, I've never seen a ticket promotion like this. The Rapid City Rush have a weekend series coming up, and they're offering discounted tickets for First Responders Night to people in the citizenry that have gotten a parking ticket or a citation. Wait, I've gotten a parking ticket? Dang. I've never gotten a citation. Don't go there. I've never gotten a citation. But in this case, like, if you get a citation, you get discounted tickets to the Rapid City Rush game? Interesting. Got a ticket? Get discount tickets. Good luck. Have fun, everybody. We're back tomorrow. See ya.
Yeah, can I get the taco burger?